What's up? Come on in here. It is Rick Kamla. It is Hall of Famer Steve Alexander. The late night fantasy goodies for you all here on the Fantasy NBA today. Doc, massive Wednesday night, 11 games. Been a lot of fun basketball to watch tonight. A lot of big time performances, dude. We'll get into your Magic Man in a minute, but just give me an overall vibe on all the hoops we watched tonight.
It's a fun night, man. There's an incredible Oklahoma City Thunder Warriors game going on right now. I don't understand it, but it's a good one. The Dallas Mavericks got probably one of their biggest wins of the season. And there were some buzzkill injury news that came out today. And there were some great performances on Wednesday night. It's been a good day for hoops.
It really has. And the Anthony Davis news about the core injury, he's out about a week at least. And Jalen Johnson out for the year with the torn labrum in his left shoulder. Absolutely terrible news there. So Doc, let's tell the people about our great sponsor. Then we'll get into our Magic Man of the night. Our great sponsor is Bet Online. Bet Online. Bet Online. They are the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting in 2025. Whether you're a seasoned fan or a first-time bettor, Bet Online is your ultimate game day companion. With the largest selection of odds on everything from football, the NBA, college basketball, NHL, UFC, Bet Online is your number one sports betting source for the new year. I wonder if they're going to have odds out on how many bad calls there are in the Super Bowl. I don't know. Check the board. It may be out there. Every touchdown, every three-pointer, every hattie. BetOnline has you covered with the odds, the stats, and more for every game, every play, and every win. BetOnline, the game starts here. Doc, I'm looking at the leaderboard here tonight in fantasy basketball, and I see some really big performances. I see some wow. I mean, I'm looking at a stat right here that I guess I missed when I was looking through the box scores. So who the heck is your Magic Man here tonight?
You know, sometimes I like to go the indie rock, low-key, alternative route. Doing that tonight. One of the most underappreciated fantasy players this year, a guy who was ignored on draft day. He was ignored 3 weeks in, is balling, and that is P.J. Washington of the Dallas Mavericks. He had 25 points, 14 rebounds, 8 assists. He missed a triple-double by 2 dimes. He had a block, and he hit 4 triples for a power forward center. Hit 10 to 20 shots, played 38 minutes, and Dallas got a much-needed 1-point win over the New Orleans Pelicans. P.J. Washington is my Magic Man of the night.
You did kind of go indie rock on that. You did. I could, Doc, go with, and by the way, Doc, that was P.J. Washington against Zion Williamson, who we've been telling the people to make a straight-up trade for. Zion had a good game tonight. Go ahead, offer up that trade. If you've been listening to us, and dang, I keep forgetting, do it now, okay? Just grab your phone and do it, and listen to us. Give you the Magic Man. I am going to go with SGA. I mean, this guy has been incredible here. He's got 43 points in counting. It's tied 84-84 at the end of 3 quarters. We're talking about probably another 50-point game from Shai Gilgeous-Alexander here, Doc. And on a night, we'll get to this, when Nikola Jokic was really lame at the Garden in a loss for the Nugs. And I don't know, OKC may lose this game. They probably will win it, but SGA is gonna top out at a 50-point game here. So I'm just saying, no hating on Jokic at all. He's phenomenal. Okay, even phenomenal players can have a bad game. But SGA needs all of these games to win MVP, Doc, and to overtake this guy averaging a triple-double, to overtake this robot who's won 3 of the last 4 MVPs. And SGA, prior to this year, did not have these nuclear explosion games. I think his career high, Doc, coming into the year was 45 points. Okay? He didn't have a 50 coming into this year. But now it may be, if he goes for 50 tonight, it would be a 50-point game, twice in the last 7 games or something like that. So I dig it, man. I like these eruptions from Shea.
He's awesome. I mean, that first half was just stupid. 31 points in the first half. So he was on pace for 62. Now, when we break down this Golden State box score, I'm still baffled by how close of a game this is. They started a dude, your guy, is it Quentin Post?
Quentin Post.
I don't think Trace Jackson Davis has even seen the court. He did something to piss Steve Kerr off. I don't know what. But anyway, SGA, hands down, in my opinion, the MVP this season. I don't even think it's close.
I like the way you think, and I like what you're saying. I hope that opinion prevails with the people that have a ballot, okay? And I'll leave it at that. All right, so our Magic Man is in the rearview mirror, Doc. Let's move on now with our game breakdowns, okay? And we do this chronologically, so let's go back to the beginning of the night here. Brooklyn at Charlotte. The Nets blew out the Hornets, okay? And I told you all to play the Raptors at Washington tonight. Hopefully you laid the 6.5 and 1 on that. So the Wizards are an ATS target for you, okay? I'm going to advocate. I love the Lakers on Thursday night at Washington. Okay, I love it. It's going to be minus 11.5 or something like that. It's going to be a big number. Play it. The Lakers are going to house them, okay? They're going to house them. They're going to win that game by 23 points or something like that. The Hornets, Doc, now are in that boat as well. Attack them, prey on them, target them. They're going to be an ATS cash cow for you, okay, to bet against them. And so tonight was an example. The Nets absolutely suck, and they trucked Charlotte in Charlotte by like 20 points, okay? No LaMelo Ball, no Mark Williams, no Brandon Miller, no Trey Mann. Bye-bye. They're going to try to lose every single game the rest of the year, okay? So that's what's going on here, Doc. And our guy Keon Johnson was heard from tonight. 18, 5, and 4 with 3 defensive goodies, man. What you got here on Brooklyn and Charlotte?
Nick Smith Jr. Everybody's like, oh, here he comes. He just hasn't done it yet. He sort of got hot there for a second. He'll get hot again. I'm not saying to write him off. But 1 of 10 for 2 points. Oh, Josh Okogie, here he comes. 4 of 9 for 9 points and not much else. My guy, Vasily Micic, 15 points, 7 boards, 6 dimes, 4 triples. He did this last year. He's probably going to do it again. 31-year-old second-year player. I was happy to see him do well because I've sort of had his back, even though he's sucked all year. And then I don't know where Mark Williams is. I just assume he's hurt. I don't keep tabs on him. But Musa Diabate is becoming a thing. 13 points, 8 boards, and a steal. 27 minutes. I mean, Charlotte didn't even start a center in this game. If Williams continues to miss time, Diabate is probably a better option than some chump you've got at the end of your bench.
It's a good point. Grant Williams also out for this team. I mean, the Red Crosses go on and on. We did hit a winner on Miles Bridges tonight. We gave you the point prop over on him. He hit for 23. His season average is about 18.9, so he definitely cleared that number for you. He is hot. Continue to look at Miles Bridges, okay? He scored 23 and hit his point prop over in a home blowout loss, okay? Think about that. He's hit 20-plus points in 8 of his last 9 games. Miles Bridges, keep him in mind for point prop over here. Overs here moving forward.
Is Bridges a shutdown candidate, or did the year he took off make him hungry enough that he's like, no, just let me play. I promise we won't win. Just let me play.
Well, a lot of times the team, like a player can be like, yo, don't, and they just say, we don't care what you think. Come on over here. We're trying to get Cooper Flagg. It's a great question, Doc. I don't know. I lean towards, yeah. It might be championship week. It might be the second to last week, right? They take it all the way up to like April. And then, all right, Miles, come over here. And now you're in street clothes the last, I don't know, 5 or 7 games. Well, that may completely torpedo a championship week. I'm not saying make a rash decision with him. I don't know how this is going to go. It's not as clear cut, Doc, as like Kuzma and Poole in Washington. It's not as clear cut as the Utah guys, minus Walker Kessler, who for some reason I feel like he may not be shut down. I don't know. But I don't know what, like Markkanen, Clarkson, Sexton, Collins, like to me, guaranteed to be shut down. And like Kessler and like all the young guards and stuff, I don't know, maybe not.
Here's the thing.
But I would ride it out with Miles Bridges. I would ride it out with him.
If Bridges can play in a game like this and they still get housed, why not just let him play? It's not like they're going to start beating people because of Miles Bridges 1-on-5.
No, you're right, dude. Think about it. Washington has 6 wins on the year. 6. And they've played Jordan Poole, and they've gotten good stats out of him. Kuzma's missed a million games. But they've been playing their guys, kind of. Anyway, they've got 6 wins. Washington's going to lose no matter what the F they do. All right, Doc, let's move on to spiciness. Detroit and Indiana, dude. Sign me up for a playoff series with these two teams. It ain't going to happen, but sign me up. Beef stew, body blocked Thomas Bryant, flagrant foul 2 ejected. Late in the game, guys were pushing and shoving a little bit. Tim Hardaway Jr. and Pascal Siakam were having words. Was like, I love that chippy stuff. It's like 90s style, okay? Doc, Pascal Siakam against Detroit is the gift that keeps on giving. Another point prop winner. All right, we told you on Tuesday night, play the point prop over on Pascal Siakam. The last time Indiana played Detroit, before that, we told you to play the point prop over. Hit, okay? This is money for you. It's not going to happen again this regular season, so hopefully you capitalized here. But Siakam against Tobias Harris is a nightmare for Detroit. Siakam went for 37 tonight, Doc, on 15 of 21 shooting. Wow. Okay, so I wanted to start there. And then there were a lot of different machinations with Indiana's lineup and rotation tonight. Ben Shepherd and Aaron Nesmith started. Andrew Nebhard and Ben Mathurin missed this game. So, Doc, talk to me about Indiana's victory over Detroit.
The highlight is 37 from Pascal and possible all-star snub. Tyrese Halliburton was like, not so fast. 30 points, 7 boards, 8 assists, steal 4 threes. So Halliburton knows he's on the bubble. He's like, I better put up a big line tonight. The fact that Tobias Harris let Pascal Siakam do that to him is crazy. And then Aaron Nesmith, 0 points in 32 minutes with hardly any stats. Gross. Detroit side, I was really disappointed. I've been on a little Tim Hardaway thing. Like, Tim Hardaway's quietly been pretty good. He's probably going to score in double figures. No. 1 of 3, 2 points, my bad. Or 3 points, my bad. Jalen Duren and Kate Cunningham solid as usual. More of the same. 19 minutes for Oscar Thompson. It ain't happening this year.
Minutes restriction. And they've got Fontecchio, and they've got Holland, and they've got these other guys that can play in those spots. And they're, Tobias Harris is kind of like that old guy in the way, like Harrison Barnes down in San Antonio. But it is what it is. None of that stuff is changing this year. I want to go back to Indiana for a second here. Because I know Aaron Nesmith had a Tony Snell-esque horrible stat line tonight. I get that. This was by far the most minutes Nesmith has played. Okay, 32. And he started. Over the last 4 games, his minutes have gone 11, 19, 21, 32. So he's now back to starters minutes. Carlisle loves him. I believe that Nesmith is going to take the starting job from Ben Mathurin. I think Nebhard, when healthy, will be in there. Carlisle started him last year when they had a whole bunch of success. Nebhard's been balling lately. I don't think he's going to remove him from the starting lineup. Ben Mathurin has been a bench player last year, coming off behind Aaron Nesmith, and I think Carlisle's going to get back to that. So, and I really don't think it's going to be a hit, Doc, to Ben Mathurin's fantasy value, because Ben Mathurin is only playing 24, 26, 27 minutes anyway. And well, I mean, it depends. If he drops down to a 20-minute per game player, he's a waiver wire guy. Because to me, right now, as is, he's just north of a waiver wire guy. Not a lot of blocks, steals, or threes. That's my problem with Mathurin. But how do you analyze that? And do you agree with me that Nesmith is back in the starting lineup to stay, and one of those other guys is leaving, and I say it's Mathurin?
Well, Mathurin and Nemhard were out tonight. That's why Nesmith played 32 minutes, right? I believe you're right, but I think the fact that Nesmith showed that he's ready to play 32 minutes showed Carlisle, and they won, okay, and he did all his defensive stuff and his hustle stuff that he does, right? But you're not buying that. You think Nesmith's going to go back to being a bench player? I don't know, man. I think if Mathurin is not, if they demote Mathurin right now, I think the Indy fans are going to revolt. And Ben Shepherd started. I think Mathurin's going to keep starting, but I don't know. I'm not that in tune with what's going on in Indy.
Okay. We'll see, man. We'll see. Again, I don't think that it's going to crater Mathurin's value unless we get, oh, he's off the bench now. Okay, 20 minutes. Okay, he's off the bench, second game, 22 minutes. Okay, at that point, it'll be a different conversation. But if he's coming off the bench, playing 27 minutes, 25 minutes, he's going to do the same stats that he's doing right now. So, Doc, let's move on to Toronto at Washington here on the Fantasy NBA today, recapping a big old Wednesday night in the NBA. We're here with you live. Thank you all for joining us. Toronto at Washington, we were all over this one. We said bang Toronto, -6.5 at Washington, because Toronto's trying to win and Washington is not. Boom, sweet spot. 106-82 was the final. I had no idea it was going to be that big of a blowout. The Raptors have won 7 of the last 8 games. They're rolling, and they're doing this without Emmanuel Quickly, okay? And my guy Kelly Olynyk. And Grady Dick was out tonight. But Scott, Doc, we had some hit and miss here with Scotty Barnes. I like to go back and talk about the point prop releases that we had. Scotty Barnes was a hit and miss. Point prop over was a yes. He had 24, but I also gave you the PRA over, which he missed because he was 24, 4, and 4, and the steal over, which he missed because he only had 1. And Doc, the reason that he missed clicking on all 3 of those legs of that parlay was the blowout factor. Yep. He only played 29 minutes. That's what kept Scotty B down. But we came close. We gave it a shot, man. I didn't think this game would be such a ridiculous blowout, though, Doc.
It was a ridiculous blowout, and the box scores for both of these teams looked like Steve Kerr was in charge. I mean, it's just everybody, you get minutes, you get minutes, you get a minute, everybody played. Nobody really did anything spectacular. I mean, there were no Magic Man candidates from this game. It's just a bunch of garbage.
It really was. Okay. Let's see.
Bruce Brown, 10 points, 3 steals, 4 boards, 2 assists. Bruce Brown has been solid.
Bruce Brown, baby. Rev him up and get him ready to trade him. Although now Toronto's winning with him, and they'd be like, this guy's a pretty good 6, man. We need to keep this guy. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Doc, Jordan Poole has let go of the rope. His swan song here, his encore, his big finish to the 24-25 season was the 38-point performance at Golden State, okay? You're back in Golden State. The whole thing, Draymond punched you, blah, blah, blah. Boom, you smack him upside the head for 38 points, okay? And I believe the Warriors killed him that night. But anyway, he had 38 points. Okay, since that game, Doc, Jordan Poole has gone 11, 15, 24, 19, 15, 3. He had 3 points tonight, Doc. I think 1 of 9 or something. I don't know what the hell it was.
Yep.
Horrible. He has let go of the rope. He said, deuces, I'm on vacay. 1, 2, 3, Cancun. As soon as he dropped 38 on Golden State, he was like, I'm good, yo. I'm folding my cards. I don't see Jordan Poole hitting another heater here, Doc. I don't see him clicking off 4 straight 20-point games. I think it's only a matter of time before he's shut down. We've been screaming at you to offer him up and sell high or sell medium scenarios. So hopefully you're not stuck with Jordan Poole right now, because he's not going to be a fun roster the rest of the year to me.
No, he's not. He was 1-9. He played 29 minutes. He had as many turnovers as he had points. Jordan Poole and Kyle Kuzma. I mean, I'm trying to get rid of both those guys if I've got them. Because Washington has 6 wins. They don't want Jordan Poole to go off. They want Kyle Kuzma out of there. Like, let Bub Carrington and Keyshawn George and Bilal Coulibaly and whoever else they can find. Justin Champagnie. Let them get blown out every night, because we don't care. They're in the driver's seat for Cooper Kupp, assuming the ping pong balls cooperate.
They are, dude. They are. Corey Kispert is going to get his time to shine. He is going to get his silly season platform. He
does every year.
Justin Champagnie is like, I'm still rostering him in 30 deep, dude. And the numbers suck right now. Although he had a pretty good game tonight. He's getting warmed up for silly season. But anyway, that's enough of a breakdown here on Toronto.
Yeah, that was bad.
Over Washington. Chicago at Boston tonight, Doc. Let's get into this one. Boston.
Welcome back.
Obliterated.
It's been too long. Sorry.
Who are you?
Welcome back.
Who are you welcome back pottering right now?
Welcome back, Kobe.
Okay, take it, man. What do you got to say?
I mean, just welcome back, Kobe White. I needed it. I've been waiting for this. Thank God. Hopefully they let him play the rest of the way.
Do you think he's a shutdown candidate?
Not really, but I mean, if he gets hurt again, I mean, he was out for a while, dude. I'm glad he made it through this game in one piece. It looks like he did.
Well, I was reading about a minutes restriction on him. He played 32 minutes tonight, so to me, that's pretty good. Like if you know we're on a minutes restriction, but he played 32 minutes. I mean, in the fantasy community, we can rock with that. We can't rock with Steve Kerr, but we can rock with Billy Donovan for sure. Doc, shout out to Kristaps Porzingis, man. He's so freaking good, dude. He really is a sensational player. 34 and 11, 8 3 balls. Okay. Jaylen Brown had 28. That's my guy. Jaylen Brown, by the way, is swole. Like, he's always been like muscular and stuff, but he looks like a straight up middle linebacker right now, dude. 28. Derek White, 22. Jason Tatum, remember last night? I was like, I had this little itch, point prop over on Tatum. I'm like, nope, this guy's in a rut. I didn't advocate playing the under on him. I just said fade it. 16 points on 5 of 15. Kobe White coming back was very, very good news. Do you have anything on Boston? Because I do have a question in a little combo that I want to get into with you on the Bulls. You got anything on Boston's box score tonight?
Peyton Pritchard played 34 minutes, scored 10 points with 7 assists, 2 steals, a block, 2 threes. That's all good. Malik Beasley scored 20 tonight for the Pistons. If I'm betting on 6th man of the year, I think I'm putting my money on Beasley. I feel like Pritchard is not popping, hardly ever. Beasley scores 20 every game. And I know there's more that goes into it than just scoring, but I feel like Beasley may end up being 6th man of the year.
And DeAndre Hunter as well, Doc, is going to make another ascent here with Jalen Johnson out, and the minutes and the shots are going to be there for DeAndre, and I still think he's going to continue to come off the bench. You know, since you went there, I got to look something up here real quick. I saw somebody on Twitter was talking about Amen Thompson for 6th man of the year, and I was kind of like, Really? And I mean, we love Amen Thompson. It's not that, but it's like what? Okay, wow. He is a six-man candidate, Doc. He has started 16 games. It feels like a lot more, and he's played 43. So that's what, 27 bench games, 16 starts. So if you have if it and that determines your eligibility. If you come off the bench for more games than you start, you can win six man of the year. If you start more games than you come off the bench for, you can't. That's my understanding of how they do the award. So Amen Thompson is still very viable for six man of the year. Jabari Smith is not out for the year. So we got to enter Amen Thompson's name into this equation as well. And frankly, Doc, based on the way he's playing, based on Houston, I would give the six man of the year award to him over Beasley, over Hunter, and over Pritchard.
Will he be eligible by the time it gets here?
That's debatable. It depends on how much time who am I thinking of? Depends on how much time Jabari Smith misses. Our producer Andre Lamouche is saying requirements for six man of the year. Our players spent more games coming off the bench than they did starting. Additionally, 65 games are required. So yeah, that's the deal. But right now, Amen Thompson's very alive for six man of the year.
The way things are going in Houston, are they really going to bench Amen Thompson to play Jabari Smith? I don't see it, man. I think
you think Amen's in there locked and loaded.
Amen is a rocket ship taking off to the moon, dude.
I love it.
I got him in the Cam Dynasty League, which bodes well. If LaMelo Ball would ever just play a season of basketball, I got a squad.
You got to trade him, bro. He's always breaking down on you.
Nobody's going to give me anything for LaMelo.
What are you talking? I'll give you a first-round pick for him right now.
All right, we'll talk about that later.
All right. I just kind of throw that around. I don't know.
What you got about the Bulls? You have a big Bulls take.
Are the Bulls about to shut down players and tank? There are the Zach LaVine rumors. Will they be able to trade him and his big contract? I don't know. That's still a huge question. Maybe he goes to Golden State. Seems like they're warming back up to the idea of trading for him after initially saying no. If they don't trade Zach, will they go for it? I kind of think they will, like playing tournament stuff. If they trade away Zach, will then they trigger a shutdown as late as that shutdown would be for maybe a Vooch, maybe a Kobe White. Maybe they trade Nikola Vucevic at the deadline. I mean, if they trade LaVine and Vooch, then I'm worried about Kobe White. And do they shut down Kobe White? And so there's a lot hanging in the balance here with these Chicago Bulls. Like, if Vucevic survives the deadline, but Zach LaVine doesn't, do they still put Vooch and White out there and Dosunmu and Lonzo Ball and try to be 8 games under 500 and be the 10th place team in the East? You know what I'm saying? How do you see the rest of the year going for Chicago?
I have no idea, man. I still can't believe Zach LaVine plays for the Bulls. I wrote that off 2.5 years ago, and here we are. I'm just mad they gave Pat Williams all that money, because we would be seeing the Matas Buzelis show that we're going to see in the dunk contest right now. I'm not going to pretend like I know what's going on in Chicago or what they're going to do going forward. I mean, they have 20 wins, right? Like, they sort of passed the tank window is closed, I feel like, unless they just trade everybody. If they trade everybody, the gloves are off and the tank might be on. Golden State is going to freaking win this game. And something crazy just happened and I missed it. But I don't know. I'm not going to pretend to know what the Bulls are going to do, because I don't.
It all hinges on Zach LaVine. They're going. Don't you think that's why Zach LaVine is away from the team right now? The personal reasons. I think, and hopefully we don't find out there's like a real legit family issue with Zach, right? I think it's, Zach, we want to get you off the court because we don't want you to get hurt, so we can trade you. okay? Because we're desperate to trade you. And so we don't want to, go all this way and then we're right at the finish line and boom, you turn an ankle and now teams are afraid. Don't you think that's what's going on here with Zach LaVine being out of the lineup for Chicago, is that they're going to try to trade him?
Yes. And it's been going on for, like I said, 2.5 years. Like, I'm surprised he didn't miss every game for the last 2.5 years for personal reasons. Hopefully he doesn't have an actual problem.
Exactly.
And it's just trade stuff. But, I mean, that's certainly what it feels like. The deadline's right around the corner. By the way, the big play we missed, it was a Gary Payton poster jam, like Dominique windmill dunk contest stuff with his head up at the rim. It was nice. And the game still looked a little bit left, but Warriors just beat the Thunder.
We'll get to that game breakdown in a little bit, but that's a pretty shocking result right there. Guys, we want to thank you for listening to the Fantasy NBA Today podcast. Please head over to sportsethos.com and subscribe for us. That would help us out a lot. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast, the YouTube channel, Fantasy NBA Today, and leave us a 5-star review. It would help us out. Let's talk about Cleveland at Miami. And this brings me to 1-1 ATS on the night, 12-11 on the year. The Raptors won, covered for me. The Heat did not. Okay, I had the Heat plus 8.5 in this game. I had the Cavaliers on upset alert. None of that came to fruition, and it wasn't even a Garland game. Okay, and the Cavs won this game by 20 points. Donovan Mitchell had 34. Evan Mobley had 22 and 15. Ty Jerome, the people's sixth man, had 20 points and 7 assists. Our guy Khalil Ware was horrible. 5, 4, and 3 in 29 minutes. And Doc, Coach Spo, it is not feeling your boy Jaime Jaquez right now. Jaquez played 7 minutes. That's some Steve Kerr shit. And Pell Larson played 14 minutes. Bro, what's up with your boy Pell Larson and his hair doubling up Jaime Jaquez Jr. and his hair in minutes?
I don't know. I think it all goes back to Nikola Jovic. Jovic has been great all year. I think Spo is on a Jovic kick. And Jovic is good. He wasn't great tonight. He was okay. He scored 11, 5 assists, 3 rebounds. So I guess it's Jovic season. And Jaime Jaquez has been out, right? Like his first game back, I think.
No. He's been playing. I'll look at it, but he's been playing. Tonight was very weird for me to see him play 7 minutes.
Yeah,
Let me see here. He's gone, Doc, he's been playing. He's gone 24, 22, 28, 25, 26 with the minutes. And tonight played 7.
He didn't miss the last game? I think he missed the last one.
Maybe he did. I don't see that on this game log. It doesn't look like he did. He played on the 25th, 23rd, 21st, 19th, 17th. Okay. Maybe he did miss the game before. I'm on basketballreference.com. Let me go to the full game log. Yeah, he was not with the team.
But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because Jovic is locked in. Bo loves him. Jovic is the pickup. If you've got Jaime Jaquez, I would drop him to pick up Jovic if he's available in your league. But I was ranking the Heat pickups as Khalil Ware 1, Jovic 2, Jaquez 3. Now, this Khalil Ware game, if you got some manager in your league who's like, I just don't know about this kid, he's a rookie, like now is go get him if you can do it. I mean,
I like it.
I doubt the Khalil Ware owner is going to let him go, but it's worth asking right now.
Think about it, guys. Evan Mobley and Jared Allen. That's about the toughest matchup that you can have as a big man in the NBA right now. And Khalil Ware did not pass the test. He failed the test. But it's not like he did this against Jonas Valanciunas, okay? Or your guy, Doc, Rudy Gobert, ha. he did this against Mobley and Allen. Okay, the kid had a dud against the best big man combo in basketball. I'm not mad at him. And I agree. I think that's a good buy low. Try to swipe on Khalil Ware. Doc, let's move on to Denver and New York. And I do want to pass along, going back to the Zach LaVine thing. Andre Lemouche is giving me some intel here. Billy Donovan said LaVine's going to be out a few games. His wife posted to social media she's close to having their third child. Casey Johnson put that out. He is Bulls Insider. So, Andre, thank you for that. So, it's so the trade thing, it's a conspiracy theory, okay? Like, is there some truth to it? I don't know. But if I mean, he's home with family preparing for the arrival of their third child. Okay, like, you know, you can get into the debate, like, should you be out there playing? And then when she has the baby, go to the hospital? I don't know. But the decision has been made that he's going to be with family here.
Where was this game? Was it in Cleveland?
It was in Miami.
In Miami, okay. If they're on the road, I guess I can live with that. If they're in Chicago and he's sitting at home, I'm like, I don't know, bro. We can come get you off the bench. I mean, this is a third kid. It ain't the first.
Well, they were in Boston tonight. Chicago was in Boston tonight.
Oh, Chicago and Boston. My bad. That was 2 games ago. I've slept since then.
Like, and I am a conspiracy theory guy. Like, my whole thing is like, Zach, your wife is pregnant? Dude, just go home. Just go. Dude, you need to be there for wifey. Happy wifey, happy lifey. Just go be with your and you know, your wife needs help with the little ones. Just go be at home, dude. We're gonna try to shop your ass.
They're in the office and like Jerry Krause walks in. He's like, oh, Levine's wife is pregnant. Perfect. When'd she do? Like 2 weeks. Tell him to go home and be with her. You know.
And we're going to work on trading him. So who knows? We'll find out. We got some jokes from time to time, man. Congratulations to the Levine family, by the way, on their impending new arrival. All right, Doc, Denver at New York at the Garden. Okay, I hit on 2 of the 3 prop vibes I had in this game. Jalen Brunson, we got that one. I told you all on Tuesday night this is going to be a Brunson game. Occasionally I get some right. 30 points and 15 assists. He doesn't have 15 assists. That's like a Trae Young stat line. I just felt it. I felt like Cat was a fade. I was right. 14, 10, and 5. And then Jokic, I got that one wrong because I said triple-double prop all day long. He had like a Draymond Green first half, like 4, 4, and 4 or some crap like that. 17, 6, and 6 for the game. He was in foul trouble in the first half. And Doc, obviously we had a huge piece of rotational news with the Nugs.
You were right, and I was wrong.
Starting Aaron Gordon, Christian Brown off the bench, and Russell Westbrook staying in the starting lineup. So chew on that bone, bro.
I was wrong. I mean, Brown's been playing so good in the starting lineup. I don't know why you mess with this. I think this is overthinking by the coaching staff. There may be agents involved. Aaron Gordon's agent's like, dude, we didn't come here to come off the bench. Especially behind a guy named Christian. I don't know why you mess with it, dude. Christian Brown should be in that starting lineup. I don't care what anybody says. And they got their ass kicked tonight. And I'm glad. I'm rooting against Denver until Aaron Gordon is back on the bench.
Dude, you're blowing my mind right now. I could not disagree more. They have to start Aaron Gordon. Aaron Gordon was their 3rd most important player when they won the championship, behind Jokic, then Murray, and then Gordon. They don't win the only chip in franchise history without him locking up dudes on the defensive end and then scoring 15 and hitting threes and coming in from the dunker and taking lobs from Jokic. They don't win without him. They have to start Aaron Gordon. Aaron Gordon is a difference maker at the forward position. He's not a great fantasy player, but he's an absolute elite reality player. Could not disagree more. I love Russell Westbrook, but to me, Christian Brown should be in the starting 5. Russ should be coming off the bench playing 4 positions. He's playing 1, 2, 3, and 4 for me. You're saying power forward? Why the hell not? It's a positionless NBA. Get him on the floor. Play him 30 minutes off the bench. But Russell Westbrook is the caulk for me. He's the stuff I'm putting in between the bricks, right? And I'm just making him a glue guy. He's going to play some defense. He's going to do some ball handling. He's going to make the occasional open 3. So we see this completely differently. Andre Lemouche, I would love to hear what you think about this. Who should the Nugs be starting? Gordon, Russ, and Brown. You can only pick 2. I say they should be starting Brown at the 2, Gordon at the 3, Porter Jr. at the 4, and bringing Russ off the bench. And you're saying, Doc, Gordon off the bench, you're starting Brown, and you're starting Westbrook.
And let's not forget the Nuggets have lost 3 straight games.
Good point.
With all those combinations filling in at some point. Andre's with you, Gordon and Brown.
So there it is. We like the ties to be broken from.
Yeah, I don't know. Brown was just so hot, dude, and they were winning all those games when he was balling. But maybe he's cooled off, and they're like, okay.
I think they cooled him off. I think they, and he had a pretty good game tonight. 13 and 5 in 29 minutes. Christian Brown off the bench. Russ went 14 and 14 with 4 assists. Gordon had a very typical stat line: 15 points, 6 assists. 6 rebounds. Not a whole lot else. Not a great fantasy guy. I mean, he's just north of a waiver wire guy for me now that he's back in the starting 5. Doc, I actually think that, and this is a trend that I've noticed a lot over the years, when a team makes a big-time starting lineup change, it throws the team off. And I really think it threw the team off tonight. I think it threw Jokic off. I think it threw Michael Porter Jr. off. He was vaporized tonight. And you know what I mean? Like, because that's a big-time recalibration. When you go, Aaron Gordon has not started for this team in like 2 months, 6 weeks, something like that. It's been a long time, Doc. And they've won and they've been good with Aaron Gordon not even playing. Then he's coming off the bench, and now you put him back in the starting 5. That's a big-time adjustment. And they've got to recalculate that thing. And I think, I'm not blaming anybody. It's just part of the change process and the reinfusion of a big-time player like Aaron Gordon. But I really think that threw him off tonight, Doc. I think it's going to take a minute for them to, like, the puzzle pieces to fit again.
Jalen Brunson was the 4th player in franchise history with 30 and 15 in a game. Precious Achiuwa's minutes are creeping up. So he played 30 and 36 a couple weeks ago in back-to-back games. Then it went 17, 18, 18, 20, 26 tonight. Precious Achiuwa, if you're in a deep league, I think is worth a look right now. He's suddenly getting run for Tom Thibodeau.
I mean, you need those minutes right now. The Knicks bench was a factor tonight. McBride played well. Payne played well, and Achiuwa played well. And Tibbs only goes with an 8-man rotation, but all 3 of those guys played well. I don't know. I think they combined for 25 bench points, which is a good night from the Knicks bench. And they only won the game by 10. I mean, this was not a blowout. Shout out to Jamal Murray with 33 at the Garden. Doc, you ready to move on to Sack at Philly?
Yep.
So shout out to our guy, Tyrese Maxey. And Doc, the Kentucky guard reunion point prop parlay angle that I had, well, the parlay didn't win, but like I always say, chop it up, play them individually. I don't really, I mess around like with my voice. I don't actually play parlays. If I give you a prop bet release, and I don't really have a betting account right now, but if I did, I would be playing these. But I told you that when you Duke, North Carolina, Kentucky, Kansas, okay, these factories, these fraternities, it's a big deal when these guys get back together. So Maxey and Monk and Fox would all vibe out, right? Well, 2 out of the 3 did. Monk hit the over on his point prop with 21. Maxey hit the over on his point prop with 30. Fox went under his point prop with 19. I was 1-1 with Sabonis, Doc. Missed the PRA over because he didn't score. He had 13, 14, and 11, but did hit the rebound over with the 14. So a little mixed bag here. And then where else here? Kelly Oubre shined for me very predictably. And we did tell you about the point prop over on Oubre, which he hit. He had 15 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, 4 steals. And I'm telling you right now, I know he's available in a lot of leagues. How are you guys leaving Kelly Oubre on waivers? I don't understand it. Okay, we need forwards more than we need guards. He's SGSF. So you can put him in a variety of spots in your lineup. And the guy puts up a big-time stat line every single night. Doc, you know that I'm a Kelly Oubre guy, man, and he did it again tonight.
Yep, and you know what I noticed about, and I agree with everything you just said about Oubre. The Kings, I'm like, if De'Aaron Fox goes, hello, Keon Ellis, you're like, not so fast. Malik Monk. Well, tonight, Monk had 21 points and 8 assists, right? De'Aaron Fox had 19 points and 5 assists. Malik Monk might be the point guard of this team starting now. Like, hey, De'Aaron's leaving, you start running the point. And then Keon Ellis, Brewski's guy, suddenly my guy the last week. 18 minutes, 2 of 10, 6 points. Bunch of Draymond Green triple single stuff going on. So that's all I got.
Let me say this. Let me meet you in the middle on this. I'll take the dub on the Monk thing. To me, Malik Monk's going to be very, very good if they don't trade De'Aaron Fox. If they trade De'Aaron Fox, and depending on what they get back, Malik Monk's going to be awesome. Like a big-time fantasy guy. But, Doc, we both can win here because Keon Ellis, if they trade De'Aaron Fox and get back spare parts, I don't know, probably won't happen. But there is a possibility that Keon Ellis enters the starting 5 and plays starter minutes if Fox leaves their lineup, okay? And you start Monk, and you start Keegan, and you start DeMar, and you start Sabonis. So there's a chance. But to me, Keon Ellis, he's a streamer right now. That's all he is. He just does not put together consistent stat lines. It'll be a big night, and then 3 nights like tonight. I'm not mad at Keon Ellis. That's just the lane that he's in, and it's the minutes that he's given. Shout out, Doc, to our guy, Eric Gordon. Once again, just solid, right? 14 points, 3 threes, 2 steals. He was like their player of the game on the Philly broadcast. I was watching my boy, Ala Abdelnabi, and Kate Scott on the Philly call of that game here tonight. So you're ready to move on, dude, to Dallas and New Orleans in the fantasy festival that this one was?
As long as Paul George is out, Eric Gordon is viable. You are correct.
Indeed, bro. And I see Ricky Council percolating a little bit. My boy Ricky Council's percolating a little bit. He's in the lab. He's on the back of the stove. It's just plop, 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 plop. It's not like to a full boil. Just letting you know.
We're
Ricky
a month
Council.
away, dude. March 1st is council season.
It's Ricky Council season. Oh, my God. So just let you know. My guy, Ricky Council. I see you. I see you out there, Ricky. Ricky. All right, Dallas at New Orleans here, man. It's a fantasy NBA today. What up? It's your boys, the OGs, the GOATs, Rick Kamla and Hall of Famer Steve Alexander. This was a fantasy party. One of the best box scores of the year. 136 to 137 here. Kyrie 25 with goodies. PJ Washington with Doc's Magic Man with a near triple-double. Gafford had another nutty stat line here. Damn it, Daniel Gafford should be a $20 million a year player. I mean, every night it's a fat-ass stat line, okay? Klay Thompson hit 6 3-balls tonight. And Doc, just want to give you this before I send it over to you to launch out into wherever you want to go, but another point prop winner here. We had CJ McCollum. The point prop over was at about 21.5, 22.5. He had 23. Didn't make it by much, but he made it. And over the last now 6 games, he's gone 26, 45, 22, 9, 22, and 23. He's absolutely killing it. And remember, He is a plus 4.5 points per game at home over the road. So when CJ McCollum is at home, look to target his point prop over. What you got here on Dallas and New Orleans?
I believe Spencer Dinwiddie iced the game with 2 free throws. McCollum hit 3 at the buzzer, but it was too late, too little, too late. This is a great game, 1-point game. Dinwiddie had 11 points, 4 boards, 7 assists, 1 steal, 1 3. Nothing spectacular, but if you're sitting on a dud and you need somebody who can help you, I think Dinwiddie might be that guy. Klay Thompson, to me, is heating up. He's starting to feel it. He's sitting out there on waivers in several leagues. I know he is. Might be time to pick him up. Trey Murphy, stud. Is Trey Murphy borderline all-star?
Is Trey Murphy a borderline all-star? Is that what you asked me?
Yeah.
Hell no.
Or is he an all-star?
Trey Murphy? No.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to give you that answer on Tyrese Maxey. Like, if you said, Cam, is Tyrese Maxey an all-star? Be like, fuck no. Like, not even close. Does he have an all-star stat line? Dude, if Tyrese Maxey makes the all-star team, I'm going to freak out. There's no way. Philly is so terrible. You've got all of these badass guards in the East. There's no way he can make it.
If New Orleans was good, would Trey Murphy be an all-star?
No, Zion. Well, with all the missed games of Zion.
I mean, Trey Murphy's having a really good year, and so is Tyrese Maxey. I would not be surprised if Maxey makes it.
Well, they throw curveballs at me all the time with the All-Star game. So
dude, he's 8th overall in fantasy value.
I get it. I say this sarcastically. I'm not trying to get like mosh pity with you, but do you think any of the coaches of the NBA know his fantasy ranking? They probably don't. Oh my God. Like Coach Bud, can you imagine going, dude, I'm filling out my All-Star card right now. Did you guys know that Tyrese Maxey is 8th in fantasy ranking overall?
You don't think there's a guy out there for each NBA team that knows what basketball monster is?
I don't. I sure don't. Sure don't.
Okay.
They might, because it's analytics, right? It goes deep into the analytics if you want. And these NBA front offices go deep into the analytics. Maybe some of them do, but do all of them like know about basketball monster? And no, I don't think so. Because
I'm going to restate that whole thing. Trey Murphy's having a really good year. Is that better?
He is, dude. I just like, yeah, I'm, but when you're, what are they, 10-40 or whatever the hell their record is, like,
and
no.
All of his teammates were hurt all year. And as Andre said, the NBA teams have way more advanced tools. I'm just an old dude in his attic. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Well, yeah, you do. Yeah, it's a very good point by Andre on that. It is sci-fi.
I mean, they're paying people to run those numbers. They don't use somebody else to do it.
Nope.
Right. Let's
go.
It
is all proprietary. Anything else on Dallas and New Orleans, Doc? Are you ready to move on?
Nope.
Okay. Ooh. I enjoyed this game, Doc. I watched, what did I watch tonight? I watched I watched the first half of Miami and Cleveland, and I was like, swing and a miss. I watched a lot of, a couple of games near the end, and I watched a lot of Clippers and Spurs tonight. Clippers, this was a box score for them. They had 4 players with 20-plus points. By the way, Doc, Kawhi Leonard is here. Kawhi Leonard is finally starting to look like Kawhi Leonard. The last 2 or 3 games tonight, 27, 6, and 7 in 29 minutes. He freaking killed it. Zubats had a 20-20 with 21 and 22 against Wemby, and he shoved Wemby down into Photog row, and then Wemby got up and darted after him, and nothing happened beyond that. But Wemby got under Zubats' skin, and Zubats shoved him and knocked him down. Ooh, it was good. Norman Powell, Doc's guy had 27. James Harden had 21 and 11. Dude, the Clippers, Doc, I know they're your squad and all that, and I faded them coming into the season. But I got to recognize what I'm seeing right now, dude. You know what I love about the Clippers, Doc? Their thing makes sense. Their thing makes sense. Their rotation makes sense. Who they're playing, where they're playing, how they're playing. It all makes sense. You get the occasional spike game from a Bones Highland or a Terrence Mann or a Nick Batum or some cat off the bench
Kevin
or
Porter.
a Amir Coffey. It makes freaking sense. Like Ty Lue for the damn win, dude.
Well, I'm all for a world in which Norm Powell, James Harden, Zubac, and Kawhi Leonard can all score 20-something points. They win the game, and Derrick Jones Jr. is just in there kind of as the glue guy. Like, hey, y'all do your thing. It does make sense, and they're good. They're better than their record, I think, now that Kawhi's back. How long is he back for, though?
He looks good right now, dude.
Are you selling high? Are you moving him? Is this your Zion moment?
I'm just conditioned. I'm conditioned, bro. Yeah, I'm selling high. It's like every healthy game for Zion Williamson is a sell high. I mean, every single one. Yes, Kawhi Leonard. Yes. Yep. Try to sell high with him right now. Trade deadlines are coming up, man.
Our guy Sohan just buried on this Spurs bench, man. 7 points.
Dude, I think it's official now. I think it's official. He's just a doohickey off the bench for the Spurs right now, dude. He's just a guy. 26 minutes for Sohan in this game. 7-0-4 was his PRA. He did have a block and 2 steals. I think tonight, Doc, because Sohan got up to 26 minutes, which is basically starters minutes, okay? So we can't say, oh, it's a minutes restriction. That's why Sohan's coming off the bench. This is clearly either we want to develop Castle and try to win with him as a Spur right now at the same time, which Steve Kerr just does not understand, never will, okay? Or San Antonio is grooming and auditioning Stephon Castle for a De'Aaron Fox trade. Either way, Stephon Castle is really sticky in this starting lineup right now, Doc, and he had another good game. 20 points, 2 steals, 2 threes. It wasn't a Hall of Fame stat line, but he played 33 minutes and had another 20-point game. He's probably got 4 20-point games in his last 6 games. I'm just kind of pulling that off the top of my head. But, dude, he's been consistently filling it up.
Dude, I think if people who are like, oh, the NBA is unwatchable, I don't like this, I can't do it anymore. If they watch this game, we had Wemby getting mad and going after what's his face. We have the Clippers box score was amazing. The Spurs box score is amazing. Like you said, this game was a fantasy party, and it's just fun. I like it when box scores look like that one does. I wish they all look like that.
I know. Like, who's got the worst boxer? Golden State has the worst box scores. Who's another team that's just got horrible box? Washington. I'm never excited about a Wizard. Ooh, I can't wait to. No, there's no tickle at all. Like, I'm like, Washington,
Brooklyn.
Bob Carrington did nothing, and Kispert played 23 minutes off the bench. And
Brooklyn.
Good point.
They're bad.
Good point. I think our boy Andre, I think he's more into the Brooklyn box scores than we are. He keeps, we've got a little comment thing here as we're going, and he's one of the best producers I've ever had. But he's always kind of throwing ideas at us. And when we get to the Nets, he's always throwing little lines in the water. And I'm just really not feeling the Nets thing, bro. It's Keon Johnson, and that's all I care about on that team.
I'd prefer to just skip the Nets games, honestly. It's such a mess. It hurts my head to look at it. Just trying to figure out who's going to go off. It's horrible.
I hear you, my brother. Okay, so People have been waiting basically 24 hours on this. We had the bet of all bets, okay? The showdown. It's going to be like the Mannings with the kick of destiny or whatever in the Super Bowl. This was big stuff. Rudy Gobert on Doc's side. Nick Richards on Cam's side. The winner gets the most burrito out of it. And it's player for player, stat for stat. And so Andre Lemouche has informed us, Doc, that neither of us won the most burrito. So take the rest of the story for the people from there. Nick Richards and Rudy Gobert. It was the smackdown for the ages, bro.
Well, in the end, in points, rebounds, and assists, they ended up tied. So there is no winner. Even if there was a winner, there was still no winner because it was just, they were terrible. It was actually a good game, good win for the Timberwolves. But Rudy Gobert had 4 points, 5 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, 2 blocks. And I told this story in the preview show tomorrow, which was my rehearsal. I'm going to do it again. So Rudy tonight let me down, sort of like he let the whole world down when he licked the microphone and started COVID, right? You remember Rudy Gobert got pulled out of the game like 10 seconds before tip off and like, yes. Oh my God.
And he was Rudy touching Gobert all the microphones.
Rudy Gobert has COVID. And like they canceled the NBA and then they canceled the NCAA and then they canceled the world, right? So Rudy started all that. And at the time that was going on, I was in my car and My Sharona came on by the Knack. It's da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And for some reason it stuck in my head and I changed the lyrics to My Sharona and turned it into My Corona. And I was singing in my head, Rudy licked a microphone. Rudy licked a microphone. My Corona. That's it. They bet me I wouldn't do that live, but I did
it. And nailed
it. If I didn't have damn cancer, my voice wouldn't be so stupid, but whatever.
You pulled it off, dude. Sounded great. You did the Knack doing Rudy Gobert licking the whole licking a microphone thing cracks me up.
Now, anybody
he didn't actually lick the microphone, but that sounds better. I do like that revisionist.
Are you sure he didn't lick it? I mean, he was like, he was. But the key here is any of you that ever hear the Knack, My Sharona, maybe you'll change the words in your head, and then you'll be mad at me forever.
Oh man, we're the Fantasy NBA today. And when it gets late, we get a little goofy. But we're having fun. Hopefully you guys and girls are having fun as well. A couple of more games to go here, and we'll say night to you all. The point prop over for Ant-Man, Doc. Let me get to this box score right here. I gave you all the over on that. Do you have how many points Ant-Man had in front of you as I scurry to get this box score up? You
33.
Had 33. That's a winner. And that's a winner. So we'll take that. A lot of success on the prop bet front.
You had a lot of hits, dude. A lot of hits.
I should have been betting tonight. Minnesota, you're right. That's a good win for them. And Doc, they're starting to galvanize a little bit here. They're now 5 games over 500. Julius Randle, I've noticed, has been playing very good ball lately. He had 28 points tonight with a goodie line. Jaden McDaniels, who you pointed out last night, had another really good line. 14 points, 2 steals, 2 threes, had other goodies. Gobert sucked. Conley sucked. Edwards was absolutely fantastic. And Doc, again, this, and then with Reed out, NAW had a really good pop game off of their bench. But Doc, this is, a lot of the angles that we choose for the people, right? The former team angles and this kind of thing. Like knowing that Anthony Edwards played with Kevin Garnett and Devin Booker on the U.S. Olympic team is huge. That is why I went, because Ant-Man has not been hitting point prop overs lately, Doc. He's had a lot of weird games, but you got to understand the subplots, the stories underneath the stories within the stories, where Paulo Banchero is from. Or maybe just continue to listen to the Fantasy NBA today, and we'll bring you those insights. But that's the way you got to think, man. You can't just be like, just randomly, I'm kind of feeling Ant-Man tonight. No, you got to be able to put a little something together with that. And obviously guys get up for these reunion type of situations and the trash talking. And you know that Edwards and Durant and Booker were trash talking in practice with the U.S. national team, and that all spills out on the court in these games.
Well, and that playoff series last year when Anthony Edwards absolutely buried Kevin Durant, right? Like, that was the angle for me. Like, if Anthony Edwards gets up for anyone in this league, it's Kevin Durant. And like, this is the first time I've looked at a Anthony Edwards box score where it's not like 7 for 21. He was 11 for 20. He hit over 50% of his shots, and he balled out. He did have 7 turnovers. Who cares? He also had 4 blocks, which was nice. Like, he gets up to play Kevin Durant.
Indeed. What do you got on the Phoenix side of the ledger, Doc, on their box score? Anything popping out at you here?
Is Nick Richards ever going to be good? I don't know.
Let me look at his game log here. It's been pretty rough, actually.
He had like one
last
pop
5 games. He's got 1 pop game, the 20 and 19. Last 5 games, 4 in single digits. He's only got 4 blocks in 5 games. The rebounding numbers are solid, but only based on a 19 rebound game and a 15 rebound game. I'm hanging in there, Doc, another game or two, and then I may have to hit the eject button. But I'm hanging in there with Nick Richards right now.
He's got to be better. He's got to be better than this. He's got to be better. All right, what's left? What do we got?
Are you being patient as well with him?
I think so, but I think a lot of it is just from stuff I've read. Like, I don't love Nick Richards. Everybody's like, you got to hold Nick Richards. I'm like, yeah, they're probably right. I mean, they didn't trade for him to have him suck and to play Mason Plumlee and Iso Iguodaro and all of that. Like, Nick Richards should be balling for that team. They didn't bench Yusuf Nurkic to have Nick Richards come in and suck. But I don't see why we're not just playing Yusuf Nurkic.
But teams make mistakes. And Nick Richards, based on Phoenix trading for him, should be a double-double every night. Maybe Phoenix got it wrong. Maybe Nick Richards is just a night in and night out bench player in the NBA, which is what he's been to this point. Phoenix think they can turn him into something more than that. Maybe they can't. Stay tuned. We'll all find out together. We want you to download the Sports Ethos app right now. Go to your favorite app store, download it. It's free. It's got goodies out there for you. Individual player blurbs, MLB, NFL, of course, NBA as well. And great coverage on the NBA there. Sports Ethos app, please download it now. It is completely free. All right, so I did not see a Golden State victory over Oklahoma City coming tonight, but that's why they play 82 games. And it bums me out. All these Warriors wins piss me off because Steve Kerr has the worst rotations I've ever seen in my life. 116 to 109, the Dubs get it done. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, my Magic Man, did pop 450. And Doc, he now has 50 points in 2 of the last 4 games. All right, very impressive stuff right there. And I was 1 up and 1 down on my prop bets here. I had Steph Curry in his point prop over, and he had, where's Curry here? He had 21, so that's an under. But I had the PRA for Isaiah Hartenstein, who was at 4.18 and 6, which is probably an over right there for at about, what's that, a 28 PRA. So I think we hit the over on that one. But what you got on this one, dude?
I was sitting here, I take notes on these sticky doohickeys, right? And I was like, what are these things called? But then I looked at Steve Kerr's starting lineup. I was like, oh, these are Quentin Post-it notes.
Nice.
Quentin Post, Rick, started for the Golden State Warriors. 8 minutes, 0 shots, 0 stats,
I
2
can't.
turnovers. Quentin Post. What did Trace Jackson Davis do to your boy? Because TJD didn't even get off the bench.
Bro, I can't. I can't with this. Oh, Steve Kerr. Quentin Post plays 8 minutes. He had zeros all the way across the board. Steve Kerr, you are losing your way, bro. Buddy Hield starts and plays 15 minutes. Start Pajemski, dude. Like, what the hell? Gary Payton had 15. He played well, okay? But off the bench, Doc, Looney, 25 minutes. Santos, 19 minutes. Kyle Anderson, 15 minutes. Schroeder, haven't made that mistake in a while. Schroeder, 26 minutes. Moody, 17 minutes. Pajemski, 18 minutes. Oh my God, your guy Lindy Waters didn't get out there tonight. And neither did TJD. So I hate it when the Warriors win because I want Steve Kerr to suck on losses because he forces us out here in the fantasy community to consume these god-awful box scores. Ooh, Kevon Looney, 18 points and 4 blocks and shades of dynasty, blah, blah, blah. Again, like I said, Doc, the San Antonio Spurs understand how to develop and try to win at the same time, okay? Because you can do both, but you've got to try to do it. Steve Kerr refuses to try to do it, Doc. Pajemski should be starting in playing big minutes. TJD should be starting and playing big minutes. Why? To develop them. And you know what, Doc? I believe that if you were playing Pajemski and Trace Jackson Davis 30 minutes a game, because I like both of these players, I think you'd be winning more if you played them and stopped this 11, 12-man rotation. Kerr is literally in his own way of winning right now with this rotation that makes no sense.
Brandon Pajemski played 29 his last game, I believe, and had a nice game. And we're like, okay, maybe it's time. Let's call Brandon Pajemski the guy. Tonight, let's start Gary Payton and play him 25 minutes and let him go off for 15, 9, 3, and 1. No threes, no blocks, 1 steal. Buddy Hield, like, what is happening there? 15 minutes, 5 points. It's just bad. And I mean, it may be time to have a Steph Curry discussion, Rick, because he's been awful. He's been awful. His first half tonight was terrible. His second half was not much better. 6 of 15 for 21 points. I have not seen Steph Curry look like Steph Curry in about a month.
I hear you, Doc. I hear you. I'm sensing. First of all, Doc, well, there's a couple of things here. Draymond Green is Steph Curry's banky. When Draymond Green is out there, he makes life way easier for Steph. The dribble handoffs, the passing, he does all the point guard stuff. Steph doesn't have to do that. Steph can just run the marathons and catch and shoot, right? Steph has to do a ton more when Draymond is out. There's that. Also, dude, he's got 10 eyes on him every single time Golden State's in the front court. He's got 10 eyes on him. Who else are you afraid of on Golden State? I'm giving Wiggins every damn 3-ball he wants. Dude, take a buck-naked 3-ball. I don't care. You're Andrew Wiggins. You're going to hit 33% of those shots. I just don't want Curry beating me. So he's got 10 eyes on him, and he's getting older, but it's not really that, Doc. I think he's in a boredom malaise right now of like, this sucks. Like, we're mediocre. Like, I'm not fired up. You know what I mean? Where he's in it, right? They're 10 games over 500, and we may go to the West Finals. Like, none of that is happening. And Steph knows this. He's a very smart, aware guy. So he knows that they're just going through the motions here. And I think that's sapping him a little bit too. That's a lot of stuff going on with Steph, Doc, and I really don't have a remedy. I can't tell you, he's going to pull out of this, because guess what? Draymond Green is out indefinitely with a pretty significant injury here.
And Clay is not there, and Kevin Durant's not there. Instead, it's Moses Moody and Gary Payton and some dude named Post-it Note.
Exactly.
Not the who's
8
the other
minutes.
guy? Guy Santos. That's one of my favorites.
Yep.
And then who's
And
Pat?
early this year was
They got a Pat guy on that team too.
and early, yeah, your boy Pat Spencer.
Pat Spencer.
We know the whole look. We could go to their G League team because Steve Kerr plays them too. So Doc, anything else? We are out of time here, dude, and we have I think pretty handily here broken down all 11 games on a beefy Wednesday night. Anything else from you?
I don't know if we mentioned Shea after you talked about him as being the Magic Man, but if you missed it, Shea had 52. It was Shea and Jalen Williams against the entire Golden State roster plus their G League team. And Golden State plus the G League won the game. I don't know how. That's all I got.
Yeah, it's weird, dude. It really is. Especially with, Curry had 38. Okay, that's why they won the game. Curry didn't have 38. He had a very human game. But OKC literally got nothing scoring-wise beyond SGA and Jalen Williams. So for Dr. A, FSWA Hall of Famer, for our outstanding producer, Andre Lamouche, I am Rick Kamla. Thank you for tuning into this episode of the Fantasy NBA today. Remember, our trade deadline show is going to be where you want to be, okay? Because you want the fantasy goodies, and you want to be able to pivot and make pickups. And, oh my God, this trade, who is the beneficiary of it? Boom, we're going to be on it live, real time, okay? Starting at 9:30 a.m. Eastern on Thursday, February 6th. This is the place to be. Fantasy NBA today. On sportsethos.com, obviously on the YouTube channel as well. Check us out. And again, download the app. If you haven't done that yet, it's free. Go to your favorite app store and get that done. And also go to sportsethos.com and subscribe. We are out. We will see you after the games on Thursday night. This show was presented by BetOnline. See you.